everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody, and today we're switching gears just a little bit. I'm actually going to be pulling out some supplies from my stash. Now these are just kits that I had purchased back in 2017, and if you've been around a while, you'll know that I did a lot of shopping in 2017, and it primarily was purchasing things that were on sale. So very rarely do I actually purchase products full price unless I'm buying a kit. Most of the time I am purchasing things on clearance or on sale, or like these were old kits that were no longer going to be offered. So I purchased them when they were on like crazy clearance. Well, I ended up putting a couple of them together, and I've been working kind of in this little basket of supplies for quite a while now. At first when I had combined the supplies, I called it like a mega kit. Well, now it's kind of gotten even larger as I've been using it and kind of combining extra little things in there. So I'm speeding up this process kind of a lot because there are a lot of things that I'm going to sort through here trying to figure out exactly what I want. The very first thing I needed to do was to figure out what cards I wanted to use. I have like a partial pack of cards in here from Evalicious. I also had a couple of pattern papers that I could use. I had a Project Life what am I trying to say? Ellie Studio calendar card here. It was March of 2000 and what do I keep saying? Why am I having issues with dates? So this layout's actually from March of 2017 as well. So that card was a March 2017 calendar card from Ellie Studio. So I've really got a mixture of different things here from my stash in particular that I'm going to use to make this layout. I really like the end result. It is extremely colorful though. As you can see, I've got kind of teals and whites. I've got some red. I've got some green. I've got lime green as well as that darker green on that North Carolina postcard at the top. And then just a lot of colors, different colors in the photos. But it all kind of coordinates together because there's blues and creams and whites and grays and greens and blues and snow even and yellows in all of these photos. So there's a couple photos here of my niece and nephew, the twins. And then there are photos at the very bottom. There's only 4 photos on this layout, by the way. Or wait, no, I can't count. 5 photos on this layout, by the way. And then the bottom left photo is a photo of some tulips that were blooming and then it snowed. So it's just kind of a pretty photo of some tulips with snow. And then they're yellow tulips. And those were at my mom's house. And then at the very bottom right is a picture of my sister and her 2 boys as they were going out to play in the snow. And this was a really late snow last year. It was in March of 2017. So just thought I'd kind of document that and just use this kit of random supplies to make this layout because there was nothing in particular going on in this layout. It's just some random photos from the month. And then that top North Carolina card is actually a postcard, and I'm going to use a geotag from one of the chipboard things that I have in this basket. I keep saying just this basket because it's just a basket of random supplies from previous opened and used kits that I had purchased in 2017. It was not a kit that was for a kit review or anything like that. It was just kits that I had purchased on sale. And I have an ottoman in my craft room. I've mentioned this before and I showed it in my scrap room organizational videos where I kind of showed how I was organizing, and you could see it in there. But I keep a lot of the kits that I purchased that are still together in there so that if I want to pick something out to scrapbook and I'm not working within a kit review that I'm using, then I will grab something out of that ottoman and kind of use it as a jumping off point for a layout. And that's exactly what I had done with this. So I'm working on putting a couple different things. So this layout's very busy, but again, like I said, it's very colorful and I like the way that it all kind of coordinates together. There was this alpha that was in the basket already that is black and white striped, and I really have a difficult time using this alpha because it is so bold and it's hard to really read. You can read it in person a lot easier than what you can read it here on the screen, but it's still a very difficult alpha to read. So I was going to put late snow in that whole alpha, but the alpha is kind of large, and like I said, it's still a little difficult to read, so I end up just changing the late to the little cork. They're like faux cork looking alphas, and then it'll say late snow using the black and white alpha for the snow. I'm basically just going to leave this postcard up here. Pretty simple, just adding a geotag to it. And then I'm going to go and embellish a little bit more in a couple different areas. I really love this card at the top, and it says Hello Sweet, and it's supposed to say week number. But I ended up changing it to Hello Sweet March because this layout's all about March in particular. Now I'm just kind of using all the little bits and pieces that are in the kit to see if I want to add anything. There is a lot in this basket kit thing that I've made. There are probably 3 or 4 die cut packs that I have just put into a Ziploc baggie. There's 2 sheets of washi tape. There's a whole bunch of sheets of stickers, like planner stickers and icon stickers. There's label stickers, which I love, but they're October afternoon and they've got a cream base to them, and everything else that's kind of in this basket is much more white based. So I really don't use those labels very often. But then there's also chipboard, and there are stamps, and there are cork pieces. Like, there is just so much in this little basket of things, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to try to use up some of them. And I'm actually going to go ahead and make another layout with this after this particular layout as well. But eventually I'm going to have to break apart that basket and just disperse it back into my stash, because I'm getting to the point with these supplies that are just kind of collecting in here that I don't necessarily feel like it's easy to put a layout together. And when I get to that point, I know that it's time for me to kind of break apart the kit that I'm using. And that happens periodically when I'm using a kit that I've purchased, already put together, or when I'm using a kit that I actually put together myself. Now I switched out that 3x4 card. It was just a pattern paper, and I'm switching it to this one that has a really pretty floral design on it. It's kind of hard to see here because it's a very pale floral design, but it's got kind of a lime green center to the flower, and then it's got different shades of like aqua and white that make the petals. It's really pretty, but it again says week number on it. So I am actually going to layer a few little bits and pieces from the die cut package here that I've emptied into this other basket, and a couple puffy stickers as well, just to kind of add a little bit of journaling. So my journaling is going to say, and with March comes lots and lots of snow, because we did have a lot of snow, and it was really weird to have so much snow in March. Very, very odd. At first I tried to journal in that gray pen because I thought it would be really pretty to kind of have a softer gray ink, but it just doesn't, it wasn't very clear. It was kind of it's like the ink was kind of bleeding a little bit, so it wasn't a very clear writing, but it was one of those erasable pens, so I just erased it, and then I used my American Crafts Precision pen instead. One of the pieces that I had used previously was a tag that had the die cut word love out of it, but I still had the negative pieces, which are actually the letters love, and so I'm just using them here on this card to embellish with my niece and nephew. And then I am going to use a die cut as well, just to kind of finish that off. It's very faded looking. It's very, it kind of blends into the background, but when you're in person, you can actually see it a lot better. And if you look at the still photos at the end, you'll be able to see it a lot better as well. So as you can see, this layout is a little bit all over the place, but I really like the overall effect of it in the end. I like how bright and colorful it is. I like how embellished it is. It's really truly not that embellished, but because it is so busy, it does appear to be a little bit more overly embellished than what I normally do. But I'm really pleased with the way that this layout turned out, and it's always fun to kind of work with some things from your stash that may be older or things that you had forgotten about. So let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep an eye out for my next layout because it's also going to be from my stash. Alright guys, thanks. Bye.